The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Sunday night. Thank you very much for joining us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network as we bring you the NSRA Sunday Select Series. People against distracted driving. Boy, I messed that up. You know what? I took 1 week off and all heck breaks loose after that. But this is the People Against Distracted Driving Sunday Select Series. Thank you very much for joining us here tonight as the PADD Sunday Select presents their Support Leukemia Awareness here at Daytona International Speedway. I am your host for tonight. My name is K.R. Stolfus, and we are under qualifying here, and we're going to start bringing you that racing action as we get started here tonight. Drivers already taking to the track to lay down their best qualifying time. Right now, the 17 machine of J.D. Crow rolling out onto the Speedway, a championship driver here tonight as we begin the first race in our playoffs, the opening round and the only round of 12. 4 drivers are going to see their playoff hopes up in smoke here tonight. Which 4 drivers is that going to be? Well, we got to find out after we finish this race here tonight. Next week, though, we move on to Talladega, where another 4 drivers will be eliminated. And then, well, I say next week, but we're going to be off for the 4th of July. So I hope you all enjoy that holiday. But the week following that, we'll have our qualifying drivers. Final 4 drivers will be presented, and then it is on to the championship race here in this NSRA Sunday Select Series. Thank you so much for joining me again. As always, I hope everyone is strapped in, holding on tight, and that they have their favorite adult beverage or beverage of choice. And as I always like to do, and it has been a while since we have done it, one of these drivers, always crack a cold one for him. That is none other than the 04 of Mark Mann, for no reason other than it just seems to work. Mark, this one's for you as he is out on track qualifying. We do have a few drivers who have posted in some time, so as we look at our running order right now, J.D. Crow in the 17 machine on top of the leaderboard with a 47.803. Is that time going to be enough to put him on top of this field for tonight's race? As Mark Mann makes his way around, several other drivers also out on track. The 9 of Pondo Co making an appearance here. We missed Pondo in our last race. Glad to see him out here tonight. And right now, Pondo moves up into second place as Mark Mann takes over the top spot. Jesse Unroe out on the speedway as well. Right now, that 133 machine sitting in 14th place. As Unroe blasts past the camera down this Daytona backstretch, he is on his flying lap right now, shown in 16th place, but I have a feeling this 133 is going to jump up this leaderboard just a bit. when he makes his way across the start finish line onto the front stretch now, dipping those tires down below the yellow line and across the line. Unruh gonna go from 17th all the way up into second place, as Paul Servant now is your pole sitter. Dana Osborne sitting in third, Mark Mann falling to fourth, and J.R. Johnson rounding out your top five for the moment. Lynn McNeese, a championship contender in that 84 machine, getting his race car up to speed. But while Lynn McNeese is out there, let's go ahead and take a look at our point standings coming in to this first race in the championship. Four-way tied for the lead. 10 bonus points supplied to Paul Servant, Todd Poston, DJ Mitzel, and Mark Mann. Then it is Jesse Unruh, Donald Bennett, JD Crow, Daniel Harrington, Brandon Hernan, Daniel Holloway, Les Levy, and Lynn McNeese are your championship drivers. As I mentioned, 4 of these drivers are going to go home, but your point standings here tonight brought to you by GW Graphics. So a very close battle here to be decided by one race in each round of an elimination. So every driver has got to be up on the wheel in a hurry. David Anderson now on top of the leaderboard. Lynn McNeese going to slide into 19th spot. And Lynn McNeese, the only car out on the speedway for the moment as our qualifying time ticks down. Got a good field out here tonight. Several drivers have not taken a qualifying time. They're going to start at the tail end of the field. That includes Steven Squirman Herman, DJ Mitzel, Jason Kinzer, Todd Poston, and Donald Bennett. All going to start tail end of the field here tonight. But Lynn McNeese going to roll across the line, and Lynn McNeese going to jump up into 14th spot. So with all that said, guys, we're going to play our national anthem and be back with tonight's starting lineup.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As the pace car begins to pull away, let's go through tonight's starting lineup brought to you by GW Graphics. Row number 1, the 44 of David Anderson on his outside, Paul Servant. Row number 2, the 133 of Jesse Unruh and the 88 of Dana Osborne. Row 3, the 04 of Mark Mann and the 82 of Daniel Harrington. Row number 4 will be the 37 of J.R. Johnson And on his outside, the 4 of Chris Akers. Row number 5, the 388 of Douglas Johnson and the 77 of David Booth. Row 6, Pondo Coe and Daniel Holloway. Row 7 will be the 27 of Sean Stevens and the 84 of Lynn McNeese. Row 8, the 603 of Peter Bailey and the 62 of Les Levy. Row number 9, the 02 of David Overstreet and the 101 of David Gainforth. Row 10 will be the 17 of J.D. Crow and the 61 of D.J. Mitzel. Row number 11 will be the 31 of Donald Bennett and the 011 of Jason Kinzer. Row 12 will be the 711 of Stephen Herman, and on his outside, the 31 of Todd Poston. And that is your 24-car starting lineup here tonight for the Acute Myeloid Leukemia Awareness 185. David Anderson looking to take control of this field when that Ford Mustang gets out of the way. And we're going to let these cars fly. 75 laps, our scheduled distance. Race number 1 in the playoffs. 1 race, 8 drivers going to continue on. 12 drivers going to go for it. Green flag is out, and we are underway here at Daytona. David Anderson down on the inside. Paul Servant on his outside. They head into turn number 1 side by side as these NASCAR Cup Series gets up to speed. Anderson with the run. Jesse Unruh almost clear of the 3 of Paul Servant, but now Servant going to have the momentum down the backstretch as he gains ground on the 44 of Anderson. Dana Osborne pushing hard on his teammate, the 3 of Servant. Right behind Osborne is the 82 of Daniel Harrington. He is live streaming this over on Twitch at Demon Tech 82. Make sure you go over there and say hello. Tell him KR sent you. Several other drivers are streaming this one as well. Todd Poston, I believe, has one, but man, I can never remember what Todd Poston's stream is. I'm probably gonna get fired after forgetting the boss's stream, but it happens. It happens. So lap 1 done and in the books, and Anderson going to come away leading the first lap of the race as they make their way once again down this Daytona backstretch. J.R. Johnson in that 9 Bill Elliott paint scheme right there, 4th car on the inside line. Mark Mann in the 04, a championship contender, 3rd car on that inside line. He's looking for a solid finish here tonight. 4 drivers earned 10 bonus points. We're going to see who is going to rely on those 10 bonus points to help them survive this 4-car elimination from the championship battle here tonight. Those bonus points divvied out throughout the season. Through race wins, we had 4 drivers pick up 2 wins apiece. DJ Mitzel picked up 2 wins. Mark Mann picked up 2 wins. Paul Servant picked up 2 wins. And Todd Poston as well. As we're going to go 3 wide here, Jesse Unruh going to take the lead. David Anderson right in the middle. He is trying desperately to stay out in front. Paul Servant on the high side, losing some ground. But Unruh going to lead his first lap of the race. And they are still 3 wide down the backstretch. An early start to this 3 wide action here, but Paul Servant using the momentum from the high side now has the race lead. He's going to dive down to the inside of Jesse Unruh. Well, it wasn't to the inside of him, it was just in front of him. Dana Osborne now leading the charge of that middle lane. Chris Akers on a sugar high in that 4. He's going to slot down from the 3rd lane, now making it back to 2 wide. Pondo Coe in that 9 machine right there behind Akers. If you look across the top of the ticker, drivers with the C in the parentheses, those are your championship contenders. As the field once again continues to log laps. No stages here. Nothing has changed throughout this season as far as those rules go. And I gotta say, I like the idea of going back to that old school NASCAR back before the stages, back when it was you drive as hard as you can for as long as you can. Paul Servant in the 3, out in front. Mark Mann pushing hard on that 3 machine, looking for an opening to try and make a move to the outside, but Unruh has him trapped down on that yellow line. Osborne, though, he's thinking about making it 3 wide for the moment. He is up there without any help, and he is falling back now because of that. Mark Mann in the 04 has the option to go up to the high side. He stays tucked in behind the 3. Now he's going to move up in front of Jesse Unruh, and Mark Mann going to try and lead his first lap of the race and gets it just at the line. And now Mark Mann going to slide down. He's going to bring Jesse Unruh with him. And just like that, Paul Servant goes from leading the lap down to 3rd place. Ooh, Daniel Holloway in the 21 down below the yellow line. Gathers it back in and gets rolling once again, but a hold your breath moment for the 21 machine. Now he's going to move up to the high side, try and work his way around the Key Realty 27 machine, piloted by Sean Stevens, as Dana Osborne in the 88 goes 3 wide once again. He's got Chris Akers on his back bumper, but it looks like Akers not fully committed to the high side just yet, and now Osborne going to tuck in. Back to 2 wide we go. One car I want to point out, looking very sharp here. Some of you may recognize this paint scheme, what is on there. That is the 02 of David Overstreet. Overstreet running a Smokey unique paint scheme there, black and gold. Got Smokey's Garage, the best damn garage in town. I'll tell you what, right now, that is my favorite paint scheme out here tonight. That 02 looking very sharp. Rumor has it that was painted by none other than the car that is right behind him, the driver of the 62, Les Levy. Les Levy right now running in 16th place, a championship contender. Got some work to do, but a lot of laps to make something happen, as he's riding around in 16th spot. Several other championship drivers, though, are deep in this field. The 84 of Lynn McNeese finding himself in 18th place, as Jason Kinzer in the 011 machine pops out to his outside. Donald Bennett, a chase driver as well, behind the 84. Then you have DJ Mitzel, Todd Poston, and JD Crow. All of those drivers championship contenders. They are content for the moment to ride around at the back of the field, maybe hoping to avoid a big crash should one happen. They are still very close to this leader group, so not a lot of time going to be able to see that accident, going to be able to slow down. They are all in the thick of it right now. But David Anderson back to the front. Anderson, your pole sitter here, and now trying to lead his 4th lap of the race. As Anderson goes down into the tri-oval and picks up that 4th lap lead. He is leading Mark Mann, Jesse Unruh, and Paul Servant, all championship contenders. Hondo Code trying to break up this championship battle, as well as J.R. Johnson. As we go on aboard with Johnson, get a good view of this battle down the backstretch into turn number 3. Dana Osborne in the 88, Paul Servant in the 3 on the outside there. Hondo Code just off the nose of Johnson in the 37/9. Hondo Co. in that fabulous Hudson Hornet. Paul Servant driving down to that inside lane, taking over the top spot from Anderson. This lead is going to change hands all night long. And it will be a constant nail biter of a battle for these championship contenders. As I mentioned, 4 drivers going to go home without hopes of a championship victory. We're going to figure out who those 4 drivers are in about 63 laps. Keep in mind, if we have to, we got 2 green-white checkered attempts. Hopefully this thing runs from flag to flag without a yellow. I'd love to see every driver who started this race finish it. Love to see it go without a caution so that we can see truly who has the best shot at winning this championship without really seeing an incident take out a contender in one way or another. Right now, this entire field from first place to 24th place of Steven Squirm and Herman, 2.5 seconds separating the leader from the 7-Eleven machine. So this field is running very close to each other, as we have already logged 14 laps. Drivers starting to set up for green flag pit stops. We're seeing a lot of drivers not wanting to venture into that second lane. Jesse Unruh trying to make a third one down below the yellow line. But Dana Osborne in the 88, leading teammate Chris Akers in the 4. Candy Shack Motorsports right now out in front with the 3 of Paul Servant, then the 44 of Anderson. Mark Mann in the 04. Mark Mann and Sean Stevens have joined forces with Checkered Flag Motorsports here tonight. Both teams were short-handed, so they decided to try and work together underneath the Checkered Flag Motorsports banner. So Mark Mann, Sean Stevens adding their 2 cars to Les Levy, David Booth, and David Overstreet. But Candy Shack Motorsports out in front of the field. Dana Osborne in the 88 taking over the race lead. Osborne going to lead his first lap of the night, but Chris Akers not content to sit anywhere other than in the lead, trying that outside line. He has the 9 of Pondo Co glued to his back bumper, and Pondo pushing hard on that 4, and Akers going to slot down in front of the 88, leaving the 9 of Pondo Co all by himself. Pondo works so hard to push the 4 to the front, now gets abandoned and starts to fall back a little bit. Pondo Co running out of the mega stable. David Anderson, his teammates, going to get by. Co going to try and slot down to the inside here. He's got some room in front of Jesse Unruh and slides down. And now we get back to single file. We do have trouble for a few cars. And by trouble, I mean they're on pit road and going a lap down. That is JD Crow, Stephen Herman, and David Overstreet. Looks like they got together and have had some damage done to their cars. Peter Bailey in the 603 on pit road, as well as David Gainforth. So not sure what happened to those 3 drivers that they were on pit road for so long, but we do have green flag pit stops underway as the 88 locks up the front tires. Got in a little hot. Not sure if he was speeding there or not. If not, man, that was very close for the 88 of Osborne. As Todd Poston pulls out of his pit stall. Several drivers on the pit lane. Anderson back into the race lead. Nine drivers have not pitted yet. All 9 drivers running very close to each other except for DJ Mitzel and Lynn McNeese. These 2 have lost the lead draft. They are working together to try and stay in contention here tonight. They are going to need some help from a caution to get caught back up to this field. And now Anderson going to bring the rest of the field on the pit road. So the famous Days 44 machine on pit road, followed by the Rockstar 133 of Jesse Unruh. Anderson into his pit stall cleanly. Of the drivers who made their pit stops, Mark Mann, first one out of pit road and out in front of Paul Servant. Servant right now trying to close in and doing so quickly. He has his teammate Chris Akers on his back bumper as we have a check-in from Chase Berry. How you doing out there tonight, Chase? And Servant's going to give a shot to the 04 of Mark Mann. Chase Berry checking in on YouTube chat. Thank you very much, Chase. Look forward to mixing it up with you on Monday nights out on the track. We got some more drivers trying to blend in now. That is the Coors 9 machine of J.R. Johnson as Mark Mann motors right on by. David Anderson, Jesse Unruh, and Pondo Co. on and off pit road so efficiently. They retain the lead. These three cars have a 3.7 second lead over the 04 of Mark Mann. Mara Clark checking in as well. Mara, I know who you're cheering for. You're troublesome. Oh, I don't know what to call him, but Mara, your driver sitting right now in fourth place. Not a bad place to be here in this championship race, playoff race. Not really the championship race yet. It's the playoff race. One round in this championship race. Elimination going home will be 4 drivers. Right now, your top 3 out in front of the field. David Anderson, Jesse Unruh, Pondo Co. holding their own against the 04 of Mark Mann, the 4 of Chris Akers, and the 3 of Paul Servant. Then behind Servant is the 21 of Holloway. J.R. Johnson following behind him, Daniel Harrington. And then it is the 388 of Doug Johnson. And then the 77 of David Booth. Dave Freeman checking in. He's rooting for the 9 of Pondo Co. Pondo Co. picked up a race win 3 races ago, June 7th, for the Key Realty at Daytona here, I believe. Actually, that was the last time we were here at Daytona, and it is. Pondo Co. won the race the last time we were here at Daytona. What an upset it would be if he could win this one as a non-chase driver. But Jesse Unruh now takes the lead away from the 44 of Anderson. They are creeping up on some lap traffic. That is Stephen Herman in the 711 and the 17 of JD Crow. And the 17 of Crow does not want to go a lap down here this early on. This could be trouble for the 17 championship contender going 1 lap down here. And Crow now has to fight to stay to be the first car 1 lap down. He is going to catch the draft off of the 9 and going to close in on them. Going to bring Squirmin' Herman with him. But these 2 drivers now are the first 2 cars 1 lap down. So far, we have been green flag racing. Not a caution flag has flown yet. Your race leader continues to be the 133 of Jesse Unruh. He has led for 4 laps here tonight, looking to add to that tally. So JD Crow tucks in behind the 9 of Pondo Co. Championship battle up in the air for this 17. He is going to need a caution to get back on the lead lap. Even if he were to make his way in front of the 133, he would not be able to pull away from him. So JD Crow looking for some help here tonight. But a lot of these drivers are looking to finish this thing from the green flag to the checkered without an issue. Paul Servant right now sitting in 4th place as he battles with J.R. Johnson on his outside. Chris Akers pushing on that back bumper. Candy Shack Motorsports, first 3 cars down on that inside lane. Shane Gross checking in on YouTube. Shane rooting for Lynn McNeese. Lynn McNeese finding himself in 17th spot. He is working with his teammate DJ Mitzel. These two championship contenders finding themselves in a world of hurt right now. They are 19.5 seconds off of our race leaders. About a half a track behind. They are trying to work together. They are teammates. 3 Wide Motorsports represented by the 61 and the 84. The other driver for 3 Wide Motorsports who is in trouble, that is the 31 of Todd Poston. Another championship contender. Todd Poston right now finds himself in 21st spot, the last car on the lead lap. He is working with the 101 of David Gainforth. These green flag pit stops have really split up this field. Check back in on this big group of drivers being led by Paul Servant sitting in 4th place. He is actually falling behind the top 3. He is losing ground. Last time we looked at them, they were 3.5 seconds behind Jesse Unroe. Now they find themselves 4 seconds behind Jesse Unroe. So even though this group is a little bit bigger, has a little bit more energy, they are jockeying for positions, and that is allowing the 133, the 44, and the 9 to open up a gap as they run single file here. As we check in on our race leaders, they are running this one single file right here. And David Freeman saying that Unroe is looking like he's ready for a win. I'd have to agree with you there. Jesse Unroe hasn't been to victory lane since April 19th. He would love to pick up another one, especially here in this playoff battle. So Unroe out in front of the field. You can see David Anderson in the 44 right on his back bumper. Pondo Co following suit. These 4 cars staying single file has allowed them to open up a bit of a gap over the 3 of Paul Servant. And so with that being said, guys, let's take a moment. Let's do a little bit of Turn It Up. If you haven't done so yet, crank her to 11. Always love me some Turn It Up. Jesse Unruh continues to lead. Unruh has been out in front for 14 laps, looking to add another one here as he makes his way onto the front stretch. Down into the tri-oval goes the 133, and Unruh going to make it 15 laps led here tonight, sending a solid message to the rest of the field that if you want to win this one, you are going to have to wrestle it away from him. David Anderson, Pondo Co., the only two drivers within striking distance for the moment to take that lead away. JD Crow, first car one lap down. And then in this shot, you can see Paul Servant leading the second group of drivers trying to close in on our top three. JD Crow peeling off for his pit stop. Several other cars have hit pit lane as well. Peter Bailey, Donald Bennett, David Gainforth, all on pit lane. Todd Poston as well. Several more cars have hit pit road, including the three of Paul Servant. The green flag pit stops underway. When will our top three come down on the pit road? Unruh leading this field. Now has a solid lead, but going to have to hit pit road cleanly. Who is going to make a mistake on pit road? It could spell disaster, especially if we stay green from start to finish. And Unruh on the binders as he gets ready to make his pit stop. On the pit lane he comes. Les Levy out of his box. The 02 of Overstreet also leaving his pit lane. Anderson in the 44, a much more aggressive entry on the pit road, going to hit his pit stall. Left side tires for the 44 machine, and down and away goes the 44 of David Anderson. So Anderson, for the moment, has the race lead. Jesse Unruh and Pondo Co. all right there. Each driver able to stay together. Can they get hooked up? Can they hold on? Doug Johnson in the 388. He scored in fourth place with Daniel Harrington right behind him in fifth. As they cross the blue line, they can rejoin the racing line right in front of the three of Paul Servant. As he gets back into fourth place, this group of drivers now has been whittled down to four. That is Paul Servant, Daniel Holloway, Mark Mann, and Chris Akers. But Anderson, Unruh, and Co. able to retain the race lead. These top three stay unchanged, but Pondo Co. in the 9 looking like he was not able to get up to speed just as fast. He's a little bit behind here. He may be able to catch this draft and suck up to the back of the 133, but he has got to hustle that car a little bit. And it looks like he is gaining ground. I'll tell you, if I'm that 133, I'd drag the brake a little bit and allow that 9 to catch me, because those three cars working together is going to be better than two cars. But Pondo Co. is showing on timing and scoring that he is gaining ground. It is slowly but surely happening as Anderson coming up on lap traffic. Squirmin' Herman about ready to go 2 laps down. Todd Poston in the 31 machine looking like he is going to lose a lap here, as David Gainforth and Todd Poston drop down to the inside. Anderson to the outside. And so now Todd Poston finds himself 1 lap down here. Our next race, that is going to be July 12th, as we go to our chase round of 8 at Talladega. We'll be off next Sunday for the 4th of July weekend. I hope you all will tune in July 12th as we continue our championship run. 8 drivers going to go after it. And then at the end of that night, we will have our championship 4 drivers as we head to Daytona for the championship race. But before we can do that, we got to figure out who are our 8 drivers in this race here tonight. Right now, we have 12 championship contenders. And it was pointed out by Crazy Dan 21 at the start of the broadcast that Brandon Herndon, a championship contender, not making it into tonight's race, unable to join the race here tonight. And so he will be eliminated. He did not have enough points to ride out one of these races. So Brandon Herndon already seeing his championship hopes up in smoke. Now it's down to 11 drivers. JD Crow in the 17, no longer the first car, 1 lap down. For our championship contenders, that goes to the 31 of Todd Poston, as he finds himself tucked in behind the 133 of Jesse Unroe. Anderson continuing to lead, has led for 15 laps. Unroe has led for 16. But we're looking at 34 laps to go. We're going to have 2 more pit stops here, maybe 3. Not quite sure how this is going to play out, as all these drivers are on a little bit of a different strategy, but trying to do my math here. Let me get my calculator out. Going about 10 to 12 laps. Well, maybe 1 more pit stop, now that I'm looking at this correctly. We could have 1 more green flag pit stop to settle this race if we don't get a caution. Last car on the lead lap right now, that is the 603 of Peter Bailey. He is working with the 31 of Donald Bennett. Bennett having that turn 3 Racing Network paint scheme. I don't want to say anything about Donald Bennett, but man, we here at Turn 3 Racing Network, we expect excellence. Our broadcasters all know what's at stake. Apparently, Donald Bennett doesn't know that if he doesn't win this championship, he's going to be forced to maybe look at changing his paint scheme up. No, I kid. We love the fact that Donald Bennett loves to represent Turn 3 on his race car. Right now, he is sitting in 17th spot. Lynn McNeese just ahead of him in 16th. He is still working with DJ Mitzel, who is in 15th. These 2 cars now find themselves 30 seconds off the race lead. They have slowly been losing ground to that race lead, but they have stayed glued to each other, trying to work together as best they can. DJ Mitzel, one of those drivers who won 2 races on the season, so he acquired 10 bonus points, and he may be relying on those 10 bonus points here if he can't find a way to gain some more ground on these championship contenders. Les Levy just ahead of him. Les Levy sitting in 14th spot, as he is working with the 02 of David Overstreet. Overstreet finding himself 2 laps down here. Les Levy on the lead lap in 14th place. As the 62 works his way off of turn number 2 and onto this Daytona backstretch. Les right now, as far as our championship contenders, finding himself running in 6th spot. 5 championship contenders running ahead of him. Not a bad place to be, but it may not be enough. Just never know how the points are going to fall until the end of the race. Check in on the 3 of Paul Servant. Daniel Holloway in the 21, Chris Akers in the 4, Mark Mann in the 04. Then that is the 77 of David Booth. Booth is 1 lap down in 21st place. JD Crow in the 17 machine, 1 lap down in 22nd place. Akers, Mark Mann, looked like a little bit of a not a gentle touch there between those two. It can happen very easily here at Daytona. Professional drivers that they are, they able to get it sorted out. But David Anderson continues to lead this race. So far, he has led the most laps here tonight at 21. Jesse Unroe has led for 16 laps here tonight. Those two running 1 and 2. Pondo Co in that white and pale blue car sitting in 3rd. He has 2 lap cars between him and 2nd place Unroe. Todd Poston, David Gainforth, the 31 and the 101. Poston sitting in 19th spot. Gainforth in 20th. And I'll tell you what, guys, this is, I don't know. I feel like we need, let's just do it again. Why not? Why not? Let's do another Turn It Up. As David Anderson continues to lead the race here tonight. We're working lap 52 of 75, 24 laps to go. We're just a handful of laps away from seeing green flag pit stops once again. Omni Feed and Supply checking in. Hey man, it has been a while since I have heard from you. How are you doing? Miss you out on track, but man, good to see you out here tonight. Thanks for stopping by. Donald Bennett in the 31. The next championship contender in danger of going a lap down as David Anderson is closing in on the 31 of Bennett. And Bennett picking this opportunity to hit pit road. Todd Poston, David Gainforth going to come down pit road, as well as Squirmin Herman. So several cars breaking away. These cars all one lap down. They are going to make their pit stops here. David Anderson and Jesse Unruh staying out. Pondo Co, though, going to lose some ground here because of that. And he has lost the draft from the 133 of Unruh. And he is starting to fall back just a little bit. David Anderson continuing to lead as we have several more cars making their way on the pit road or off of pit road. Dana Osborne now pulling away. But David Anderson, Jesse Unruh going to try and hit their pit boxes as Les Levy and David Overstreet pull out in front of them. Unruh and Anderson into their pit stalls cleanly. Pondo Co has got to have a good pit stop here. This time he gets down and away good. Pondo Co is struggling to catch up to him. Last time they hit pit road, this time he is right on the back bumper of the 133. So Anderson down and away. Looks like he is going to retain the lead for the moment. Daniel Holloway and Mark Mann sitting in a 4th and 5th place, making their way through the tri-oval. They're a little bit further behind than what I would have liked to see to try and have them catch up to Anderson, Unruh, and Co. But they are up to full speed. Anderson now making his way into turn number 3. Donald Bennett in the 31. Todd Poston in the 31 as well. They're going to make their move to the high side and try and put themselves back on the lead lap. And they are going to get it done as they slot down in front of the 44 of Anderson. So Donald Bennett and Todd Poston, championship on the line, put themselves back on the lead lap. As we have 20 laps to go, it is going to be a bit of a stretch here for these guys to make it on fuel, but I have a feeling they can do so with some crafty throttle control. Bennett and Poston, though, they cannot use that throttle control. They have got to be hammered down the entire time. Anderson, though, going to put them back to 1 lap down. Pondo Co staying tucked in behind the 133 of Unruh. Todd Poston trying to make a move on the 31 of Bennett. And now Jesse Unruh in the 133 down to the inside of Anderson. Pass for the lead. Here we go. Inside of 20 to go. Top 3 cars starting to mix it up with some lap down cars. Todd Poston in the 31. Donald Bennett in the 31. And Peter Bailey in the 603, all 1 lap down, but they could have something to say about who wins this race. But Anderson holds on to the race lead. JD Crow in the 17 machine. Problems continue for him as he is now struggling to catch up to the back bumper of Squirmin Herman. He is in danger of losing that draft off of Squirmin Herman. We go look off the back bumper of the 711 machine, and as JD Crow back behind him, and Crow has been on his back foot all night long. He has been struggling to try and get back into this battle for the championship race. As we go back to the front of the field, Anderson on the high side, Jesse Unrow down to the inside, trying to make something happen. Pondo Co in the 9, pushing hard on the 44. They are both going to clear Unrow in the 133. And now Pondo Co finds himself in second place. Todd Poston in the 31 on that high side by himself, trying to get back on the lead lap. Poston cannot give up. Neither can Bennett. Both those drivers, championship contenders. If both of them could catch a caution at the right time, if Poston can have his nose out in front of the 44, should the yellow flag fly, that would put Poston back on the lead lap the hard way, and Bennett would receive the free pass. But it does not look like that is going to work out for either 31 machine. As Bennett got a little bit of a tap, shot down to that inside line, gathers it back in, but now he is going to fall further behind as that draft is going to be broken for the 31. Check in on our drivers sitting in fourth place. That is the 04 of Mark Mann. He has a 17 of JD Crow just in front of him. Daniel Holloway in the 21 machine, the 3 of Paul Servant, the 4 of Chris Akers, 77 of David Booth right there as well. Booth being one lap down. That is 4th, 5th, and 6th. Call it 7th place for Chris Akers. 8th place, Sean Stevens, finding himself almost 10 seconds behind the 4 of Akers. So this long green flag run has really seen this field get split up. And it has come down to pit stops and being able to not have a situation in front of you causing you to check up. 3 drivers who have been out in front and able to stay wide open and have had excellent pit stops. Those are your top 3. That's the 44, the 9, and the 133. These 3 cars have ran up to this point a picture perfect race. And let me tell you, that is not as easy as it sounds. They have been in the right place at the right time. They have been on and off pit road perfectly. They have executed pit stops to a T. And that has allowed them to pull away by 8.6 seconds over 4th place Mark Mann. So David Anderson out in front has led for 36 laps here tonight. He is going to walk away with leading the most laps in this race. JD Crow leading this group of drivers, but Crow finding himself still one lap down. Mark Mann just looking for a solid finish at this point, wants to bring it home here. If he can't win the race, maybe 4th place would be good. Just wants to avoid any sort of an issue. Same with Daniel Holloway and Paul Servant. These 2 drivers know that catching the top 3 is out of the question at this point without help from a caution. So now you come down to, hey, let's just survive this as JD Crow peels off onto pit road. And you just want to survive it and get through and hope that you have acquired enough points to be able to advance into the round of 8. Daniel Harrington in the 82 machine, a little bit further back. He is sitting in 10th place, your championship contender in that 82. He is 22 seconds off the race lead. He is finding himself over 14 seconds behind Daniel Holloway and Mark Mann, who are leading that second group of drivers. Dana Osborne in the 88 machine and J.R. Johnson are working together. They are 12th and 13th spot. They are 31 seconds off the race lead, so just over half a lap behind. And then your championship contender, the 62 of Les Levy, finding himself 34.5 seconds off the race lead. But DJ Mitzel and Lynn McNeese, who continued to work together, who never gave up, now they have found themselves on the back bumper of the 62 of Les Levy. And these three drivers here are all in the championship battle. Les Levy and Lynn McNeese without any extra bonus points to help them kick off this playoff race know that they are in danger of not making it into the round of 8. So this battle here could be very important to keep their playoff hopes alive. Even though they are not battling for the race win, they have got to figure out who is going to finish better. And unfortunately for Les Levy right now, he has got two teammates behind him. Well, let me rephrase that. Les Levy does not have his teammate, the 02 of Overstreet, behind him. He's got the 61 and the 84. They are teammates. They are between him and his teammate. So if Mitzel makes a move to the outside, I gotta believe that Lynn McNeese is gonna follow him, and that is going to be a pass that the 61 and the 84 can make. But they look like they are just waiting for the right time to strike. We check back in on the race lead. The 44 of Anderson continues to lead. Pondo Co. in second, third place, Jesse Unruh. Then Todd Poston 1 lap down, finding himself in 17th spot. Donald Bennett right behind him in 19th. Bennett is in 18th. Bailey in the 603 is in 19th. This race is going by very quickly. We're now down to 7 laps to go. This thing has been green flag all the way as Todd Poston gonna peel off for pit lane. Not enough fuel in that tank to make it to the end. Now the question becomes, does David Anderson, Pondo Co., and the 133 of Jesse Unruh, do these top 3 cars have enough fuel to make it to the end? Have they been able to conserve? Their pace is a little bit slower than top speed. They have been measuring out their throttle, but have they done so soon enough? Did they get into that fuel conservation mode fast enough to make it that extra 2 laps that I calculated that they would need to make it to the end of this race? And no, they didn't. They're going to hit pit road with 6 laps to go. So David Anderson on to pit road. Top 3 are going to hit pit lane. 4th place is Jason Kinzer. He's going to have to come down pit road here in just a little bit. Paul Servant has already been on and off of pit road as he is peeling away here. The 21 of Holloway and the 4 of Akers are right there. Mark Mann right behind them. Mann finding himself in 11th place. So another round of green flag pit stops, and this time Pondo Co. is going to win the race off of pit road from the top 3. Pondo Co. out in front of the field as he gets up to speed. Anderson and Unruh are following him closely. And here comes DJ Mitzel and Lynn McNeese. DJ Mitzel and Lynn McNeese with enough fuel in their tank. They could be able to make it. Oh my goodness, I lost track of the 61 and the 84. Now they have the 31 of Todd Poston out in front of them. Todd Poston, who is, well, let me check. Todd is on the lead lap. He is the last car on the lead lap. Could he pull the 61 and the 84 to a 1-2 finish, allow them to use his draft, and we could see this 61 and 84 pull off an upset victory here, as they have been struggling this entire race to try and catch up to the field. They have not been separated all race long, and has been the 61 and 84 running nose to tail from about lap 20 on. But here comes the 9 of Pondo Co. He's going to have none of it, and Pondo Co. to the race lead. Jesse Unruh now trying to set sail, as Peter Bailey got a little wild coming off of turn number 4. And Unruh gonna make a move to the outside. Anderson going to be the deciding factor here. Anderson now chooses the outside lane. And it looks like we're gonna be 3 wide with Poston going 1 lap down once again. And Unruh trying to take the lead with 3 laps to go. Anderson pushing him hard. So Pondo Co. gonna slide into 3rd place for the moment. And now Jesse Unruh back to the front of the field. Two more times around as they cross the line. This race has been green flag since the start. We have seen green flag pit stops separate this field time and time again. DJ Mitchell and Lynn McNeese are trying to stretch their fuel as far as possible. They are running at a reduced pace, but man, if they could find a way to finish this thing out, they will have gained several spots, as they still have a 10-second gap back to the 3 of Paul Servant, who is running in 6th place and closing in quickly on them. But white flag is being held by our flagman, and Jesse Unruh is going to take the white flag. This thing is going to end at the next flag, whether it be a caution or a checkered flag. And Unruh going to try and set the tone for this championship battle. J.R. Johnson up on the high side. He's going to go 1 lap down. But these top 3 cars are going to settle it amongst themselves. Jesse Unruh out in front. David Anderson in 2nd place. Pondo Co. in 3rd. Those are your top 3. 4th is Paul Servant as he makes his way around Lynn McNeese and DJ Mitchell. And Anderson, what's he going to do? What will Pondo Co. do? And it looks like they're going to stay nose to tail, and Jesse Unruh at the line is going to win the race. David Anderson brings it home in 2nd. Pondo Co. in 3rd. Paul Servant off of turn number 4. Holloway on his back bumper. Mark Mann following suit. Chris Akers, they're going to bring it home in 4th, 5th, and 6th. Lynn McNeese out of fuel in the 84 machine. That was a close gamble for Lynn McNeese that did not work out. The same for the 61 of DJ Mitchell. So a gamble gone wrong for the 84 and the 61. A tough break for those 2 drivers who laid it all on the line and unable to bring it home on that gamble. But Jesse Unruh, your race winner here tonight at Daytona. The first round of the championship battle is going to go to the 133 of Unruh. How about that wild finish here tonight? Holy cow. As it looks like maybe Jesse Unruh started his celebration a little too early and received an iRacing penalty. I believe that will be assessed post-race. We'll see how that shakes down. I wouldn't worry too much about it. We're just going to go off the fact that we saw Jesse Unruh win the race. We are going to assume that for the moment. So give us just a second, guys. We're going to step away from the microphones and we're going to set up our post-race show. No one go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment.
Grab the hard hats, grab the tools, grab the wheel. There's a job to do, ground to break, earth to move, a deadline to hit. Load in Randy and the boys. Randy's got shotgun, new guys in the back. Haul it all, dump it all, do it all. When there's something to prove, a reputation to uphold, you need the Kubota RTVX, North America's #1 selling diesel utility vehicle.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting ready to fire up our post-race show as we try and gather our drivers in. Just got to get one more driver here, and we're going to set this off with our race winner, and that is the 133 of Jesse Unruh. And Jesse, it looked like you got a black flag there after the race, and so your timing and scoring shows you in 15th, but we saw you cross that line first place.
Yeah, I was just headed back to the start finish to do a burnout, and it black flagged me, so I think it'll be all right as far as points go. Get it cleared up.
Well, that was an epic battle between the top three. This race went flag to flag, no cautions. You, Pondo Co, and David Anderson, perfect race all night long on and off pit road. Tell us a little bit about that battle between the three of you.
Yeah, we really communicated well together tonight, and perfect pit stops all the way around. Couldn't have done it without Dave and Pondo tonight. Got the Rockstar Chevy into first place. Couldn't be happier.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on the race win. You know, a championship battle on the line here. The first race in the championship battle, and you mark it as yours. What do you have to say to the other competitors as we got 2 races left in this championship?
Well, I got to say we did a great job as a group tonight. Everybody raced really well, and so hopefully the remainder races go that way. Like it when they go green. So.
All right, Jesse, any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give for this race win here tonight?
Yeah, for sure. I'd like to thank Dave and Pondo, first of all, for sticking with me through that one. I really appreciate that. And the rest of Team 501 throughout the year did really well together. And also Turn 3 for putting on these broadcasts, and PADD and NSRA.
All right, that is your race winner, the 133 of Jesse Unruh. Of course, that is not what timing and scoring is going to show for iRacing, but we saw him cross the line first. But now it's time to move on to our second place finisher, and that is the 44 David Anderson. David, you led 46 laps out there tonight, brought it home in second place. Got to feel good about this race here tonight.
Yeah. Wow, I led 46 laps. It's a lot of laps. Yeah, so I'm not in the chase, you know. Me and Pondo were not in the chase, so we were doing everything we could to be the best teammate for Jesse, who is. We were going to work with JD Crow as well, but, you know, he had some early issues and got a lap down, so we weren't able to work with him. But, yeah, man, you want to talk about perfect teamwork tonight? That was awesome. Perfect pit stops. We stayed together. We worked together. Did everything we needed to do, and it just worked out perfect. And really happy for Jesse. You know, he moves on, no problem, no doubt about it.
Well, David, that 44 machine was fast, and we saw you guys really try and mix it up on pit lane there. At one point, Pondo Co looked like maybe he was going to get left behind, but seemed like you guys, as you mentioned, teamwork all around, kept trying to work together.
Yeah, we knew Pondo fell back there. He was letting Jesse get in or out. don't remember exactly what it was. I was out in front of those guys, but yeah, you know, we had a couple other cars that were ahead of us, and then they fell behind us, and we knew that Co would latch onto those guys, and he did. So yeah, we weren't too concerned about it. You know, like I said, it's just perfect teamwork tonight. We haven't necessarily had it all year. I haven't actually been able to race because my internet's been so horrible. But when I do, I usually, you know, try to work with my teammates and get somebody a win.
All right, man. Well, who do you have to thank here for this second place finish tonight?
Well, a great group of friends and drivers in the Mega 501 team. We, like I said, just an amazing job tonight. And then obviously NSRA, PADD, and you in turn 3, great broadcast. Love to go back and watch them when I do get a chance to race. And so just a ton of fun. Sunday nights, man, I look forward to Sunday nights. They're fun.
All right, David Anderson, second place here tonight. Excellent job, and once again, congratulations on your finish.
Thank you, sir.
Now it's time to move on to our third place finisher, and that is none other than Pondo Co. Pondo, bringing it home in third, man. Tell us a little bit about your race out there tonight.
Well, if Jesse wasn't in the chase for the playoffs, I might would have run a little harder to try to stay out in front of those guys there at the end. But the goal was to keep him in optimal position in the playoffs to have a chance, obviously, to make it to the final race. And that's I've had my issues not getting off pit road, but on pit road in the recent weeks. And tonight was just very fulfilling, not just as a team, but for me personally to do the job that we did as a team, but also know that I did the job that I did, gaining even on my teammates on and off pit road to stay with them. And even when I had to maneuver around some lap traffic at times. And it was just, man, that was, I don't know if you can draw it up any better. A green flag race on and off pit road with 3 cars, or any cars for that matter. I mean, that was, people need to go back and watch that one. That was textbook.
I'd say that was excellent teamwork between all of you in your stable. And Pondo, you won the last time we were here at Daytona. You get a podium finish here tonight. The championship race is going to be at Daytona. Are you going to try and play spoiler and win that championship race night?
Well, it really all depends on whether or not any of our teammates are, in the hunt that race. If they're not, then it's basically a free for all. I mean, I'll wreck my guys there at the line to win the race. If I know that's not going to cost them a championship. But tonight wasn't the case. That what we were looking at tonight. We're just trying to move forward to the next race for one of our guys. And JD got caught up in some bull crap, and we know how the cautions are thrown. So that's a little bit controversial, but we get it. We all deal with it. If you've been on iRacing long enough, it is what it is. But no, I want to play spoiler every race, as long as it's not going to be at the detriment of one of my teammates, because ultimately, I don't know if y'all know this, but I got sick. I didn't get deathly ill, but there was no way that I was going to be able to sit in the seat that night. No, I do not have COVID, just so you know. I was tested and everything, but the bottom line is I couldn't sit in the seat, or I'd have me a third place tonight and looking at a chance to win a championship. But man, I'm just happy we finished the way we did. Man, I just want to go back and watch it and see that was amazing.
Well, Pondo, what I'm going to take away from this interview is that you'd wreck your grandmother to win a race.
Great grandmother. Never met her, but I'm sure she's an awesome lady, and probably was held, first Model T or whatever. She's probably pretty good at driving it. I'm guessing.
All right, Pondo, any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give for this third place finish here tonight?
Well, everybody says it's cliche, but Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and our country needs some help. And hopefully the Patriots will rise up and do what they got to do.
All right, Pondo, once again, congratulations on third place here tonight.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that is going to do it for us here tonight. Our results are going to be a little bit messed up. Race Control has confirmed that Jesse Unroe is the race winner, so we're going to go through our results knowing that Unroe is your winner. Anderson second, Pondo Co. in third, fourth, Paul Servant, fifth, Daniel Holloway. Sixth place goes to Mark Mann. Seventh, Chris Akers. Daniel Harrington in sixth, as I mess this all up. And seventh place, Jason Kinzer. Then Doug Johnson, Sean Stevens, Les Levy, Dana Osborne, Lynn McNeese, DJ Mitzel, Jesse Unroe being shown in 15th, but he is your race winner. Donald Bennett going to bring it home in 16th place. 17th going to Todd Poston, J.R. Johnson in 18th, 19th Peter Bailey, 20th David Booth, 21st J.D. Crow, 22nd David Gainforth, Stephen Herman finishing in 23rd, and David Overstreet going to round out your 24 car field here tonight. So guys, make sure you mark your calendars. We will be back July 12th for our round of 8 at Talladega. 4 drivers gonna go home. Which 4 is it gonna be? I don't know, but Jesse Unroe sending a clear message to the championship contenders as he wins the first playoff race here in this NSRA Sunday Select Series. And guys, that is going to do it for us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight, and I look forward to seeing you all in 2 weeks.